Hey, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Sending you positive energy like always. I'm feeling kind of funky energetically today, last day or so. It's been kind of rough, but I'm going to focus in this moment, and I want to discuss something that isn't really talked about a lot. Unless it is talked about, and then like people do videos on YouTube, and the videos disappear or something. But there's something very real that is definitely a reality that is not discussed enough, and that is the existence of what we call a second death. This second death, after physical death, after your human body expires, there's a secondary death process in the etheric body. Now, this second death in the etheric body it isn't exactly something that everyone individually, case by case, consciousness by soul, it goes through. Okay, there's varying degrees. There's a full spectrum of different types of scenarios that go on after your physical body dies, and also, the way we experience our human expiration date. If it's a long-term illness, if it's all of a sudden, getting run over by a train, or, most people, when they pass away in their human body, kind of already know that they're going to expire, at least somewhat ahead of time. That's pretty much the norm. That's pretty typical, pretty normal. And for a lot of those people, you receive messages through while you're awake, and also in your dreams, or even out-of-body experiences before you die, the couple days before your body actually dies. You are visited by certain guides, or maybe a certain bloodline, or real like friends who've passed over before you, that kind of thing. There's all of that kind of going on, but some of it also is just programming, virtual programming, holographic programming from other beings that are trying to get you through the reincarnational loop, continue to, so that you continue your own what we would call like a soul trap, so that goes on too. So that it's just all over the place, and we'll talk more and more about that. But let's focus here on the second death process. Like I said, everyone doesn't go through the same process, but a lot of times, what happens is, when your physical body dies, for the most of us, there's at least like a 1 or 2 or 3 day process. So just like how there's a few day process prior to physical death, where you start to see entities, beings, start hearing voices, start seeing a tunnel of light, start having spontaneous out-of-body experiences, things that are prepping and gearing you for that shift, that change is coming very quickly. There's also a transitionary kind of phase of where your soul, after physical death, moves into your etheric body temporarily, and you have like this opportunity to say your goodbyes, to say goodbye to certain people that you loved a lot, certain bloodline, family, friends, whatever it may be. I mean, it could even be a place here on Earth, a special place to you that you just want to go to in a ghost form in that etheric body, and just kind of chill there and observe it and whatnot, and say goodbye to it. But what people do with their intentions in just their their own consciousness in that etheric body, ghost body. It varies, obviously, as you can imagine. For example, somebody might be very heavily connected and addicted to some other person that's still alive, and then in that etheric body, that person just stays like a ghost in the 4D plane, and just literally just follows and stays with that particular person that they're just super connected to. Okay, and then the person who's passed away, the person who's in the etheric body, is then also, because of the connection between that particular person and the ghost. The person who's deceased in the etheric body is actually taking, I wouldn't say in a really negative way or like a siphoning kind of energy way, but just kind of more of a naturalistic process. It's taking a little amounts of the vital force, of that etheric body of the person who's alive still, in their human body. And a lot of that energy comes through the crown area of the person who's still alive, and also through the heart and the solar plex. Those are kind of the three main areas where you can really, when you're out of body, where you notice it's like the webbing, the energetic webbing in the small little cords and all the things that are not visible by your human eyes, how they come out of the person and feed into their etheric energy, their energy body. And it's almost like the person who's passed away in their ghost body, they're hanging out with that person because they're so connected to that person. And it's almost like those particular areas of the energy body, crown, heart, solar plex, it's almost like there's this energetic webbing, this entanglement of energetic strings, cords, however you want to describe that. And it feeds off of it, but like I said, more in a natural way, not in really a harmful way. And so that person who's died in that etheric body basically gets the vitality and is re-energizing its own, etheric body, and stays in that ghost realm, that 4D etheric realm. Stays with its soul and consciousness centered in that etheric energy body for a very, very long time. And then in another scenario, like if somebody isn't finding a way to kind of feed the vital force of the etheric body after physical death, the etheric body basically starts to just almost like disintegrate and dissolve. And when a person has an etheric body, like natural death, where they just dissolve away energetically, and then shift, their soul then just leaves out of that particular body and shifts into the very next layer, which would be their first astral body layer. And then they go into that body as a transitional process, and then that astral body, then there's multiple scenarios that astral body goes through also. This is a little more complicated and complex than what people may think. This whole, the whole death, the experiences we have after physical death, there's a lot more going on than what meets the eye. And there's a lot of different scenarios and possibilities. Let me go over some more things here. So, out of my with my own observations out of body in this etheric plane, what I also notice is sometimes I will. If I venture a far distance, I'm out of body, I'm in the structure where my human body is sleeping or laying down or whatnot. And I get out of there, but I go a far distance. I just move in any particular direction on the etheric plane, and then what I've seen randomly is these certain lines of people who are in their etheric body, and they're waiting. They're waiting to go through like a doorway or a portal. It's almost like going to like an airport, and you notice like the large group of 100 or a few hundred people sitting in that waiting area, before they board a plane, and there's the tunnel, right? And then they have to wait until a certain person comes out, or a certain time. Well, there's no time there, but a certain person comes out, let's say, and says, "Okay, we're ready to go. We're ready to board," right? It's that kind of vibe. That kind of feeling, that's what it kind of reminded me of while I was seeing it. And going in my OBE in that etheric realm, and going up to random ghosts, basically, and just kind of asking them, what are you waiting for? What is this line for? Why is there a group of people just sitting around waiting for something? And from a few different interactions over the years, I found that one of the group of people were actually just waiting in line before they were to go through some kind of passageway. I think one of the beings called it a passage, and that passage was then leading to a heaven reality construct, a heavenly realm, a heavenly reality. And so I can only imagine that whatever that heavenly, world was just one of many different types of heavenly-like astral constructs in the higher up astral planes that have been powered up and been used for many different souls and many years and over time, and for whatever reason, that group of people that were waiting to go to that particular one, maybe they're all from the same religious belief structure or something like that. Who knows? That's kind of some of that. And what I've learned too is people have these ghosts or just souls who are hanging out in the etheric realm after physical death. They haven't passed on to any of the astral planes or whatnot. And what I've noticed too is you can fly and levitate in your astral bodies or in your etheric body. And what I've noticed is people, these beings, they won't even know that they can actually fly or levitate off of the etheric ground, as I guess you can call it. They have no idea. It's like they've never perceived that, or no, it's not that. It's they doubt that they can do it. So then I'll actually just levitate up 20 feet or 30 feet and just float there and hover there over them, and then come down and then try to show them how to do it themselves. And actually, once the particular being loses self-doubt, once they don't have doubt about it anymore, then I realize they can just start kind of floating up too, and they just have the craziest facial expression, whenever that happens. So that wasn't one time where I've done this. I've experimented with that, and I've done that a handful of times, different times. Very interesting there. And so, yeah, like obviously this topic is extensive. Obviously, there's so many things to cover and talk about when it comes to this whole idea of this second death process in the etheric body, and how there's so many different angles and different scenarios and possibilities, and everyone kind of goes through a different process, and there's certain groups of people who go through a similar process, but after many examples of observing and interacting with beings while out of body in my own, what I call my etheric body, and seeing the things I've seen over the years, I definitely agree with the whole idea of there being a second death in the etheric body. I absolutely 100% agree and believe that it is real for a lot of people, and